A simple loner, mourner, moaner, my loner of righteousness might just bust me dead in the streets. Cause said much over beats, telephones, Ethernet connections, not disrespect the section of my own election to the family. I've been ramming me full of toxins, sorting boxes or baggies. I'm not slagging these brethren or sistren, but still red blood in the cistern of this man, and now I'm this them and the efforts. Why throw stones at lepers when leopards are eating our offspring? Sing soft, sing hard for a fleeting shot of stability. I'm a scarred liability to this occupation, with a preoccupation, an inoculation against the diseases. Party pleasers, sit on the fence, don't stop me, the pit gets tense. I've rent the tens of evil agents, but Len spent my cents on a demented gent sentences, pent up in a penitentiary. Don't mention me to the warden, cause Flash Gordon versus the Gorgon with the Morgan. High alert when I flirt with such destruction. I don't know, plaster faster with the unction. Please, plaster faster with the unction.
Rhyming for the message.
I've had a broken heart for 2 years and 3 months. Still my heart pines, receiving nothing but lethal attack of the harmful thumps. When I reach close, the opposite turns, I'm landing deep in the dumps. At least if I was in the sewers, I could be washed out by the pumps. I can get out of these humps, yet still I'm intoxicated. My soul's chips crash, damaged for life with no seen scars. I'm still far from resented. I concentrate, confused, perplexed. Indirect motions leave me vexed. After time, one realizes that it all falls down into its own various place on text. Forever injuries left open to breathe. Regrets weigh on shoulders, still I have blood left to bleed.
To those who have ears, let them hear the Seer. To those who are auriculate, let me articulate. Phosphatidylserine. As imperial Homo sapiens enter, recipients to the incipient temporal spatial world. Multifarious, inferior racial exteriors are here and there, made nefariously hilarious. Various categories are scattered with gory consequences. Sorry story sequences of 40 frequencies. Upheaval of the primeval, integral interval of time. A frugal frames mine, only a prodigal mime of mine. The prodigy's odyssey is obviously devious. A mischievous devil misleads, would believe misdeeds relieving us. Eagle thus is reticent in the ancient yet recent precinct of production. Instinct or instant induction, both distinction and deduction. Incessant reduction, definitely manifest destitute destiny. The institute's prostitutes oppressing me. Resist instead in the recipe to resuscitate, reinstate every entity's unity. In the recess, reassess and investigate that property of poetry that's notably noble. It's probably not properly a logo. Logos is low on gas. Faces say the reality of virtue is virtual, but if this were true, it would really hurt you all. Cyrillic scriptures pictured in acrylic pixels. A mosaic of archaic proverbs probably prohibited in Hicksville. Idyllic Cyrillic scriptures pictured in acrylic pixels. A mosaic of archaic proverbs probably prohibited in Hicksville. Guard your treasury from the treachery of lecherous, sketchy wretches. Procure a security and surety against the incommensurate who hate, chide, and circumscribe, describe. Despite the laughter, I rap at ya through the aperture of the rapture. Fight with an attitude that has an aptitude to capture the ineffectual and the perpetual, perceptual, intellectual spectacle. Contempt for the contemporary menace of imminence. An agitated, antiquated immigrant who mitigates against the imitation of intimate intimation. Infiltrate and rail against the frailty of our imposed, failed reality. Closed and opposed to an impaled spirituality. Spatiality, readily hailed as our specialty. But our species just bailed into an easy banality. The preliminary, luminary finality is forgotten. For we've gotten rotten and broaden ourselves this parking lot in life. Idyllic, Cyrillic scriptures, pictured in acrylic pixels. Mosaic of archaic proverbs, probably prohibited in Hicksville. He'll see a theorem serum. Dawn's wardrobe, and then tempt fate, robed in war, the rod of a warning, horny but shorn clean of the knowledge we were born free, roaming like a lion for Satan, coma for tykes. We're trying to upgrade the situation, invade the heads with golden showers of power, money and sex, invade the bold ancient text that flex humility, poverty, chastity, still elasticity only stretches so far. Dogs fetch for cars below par. We know stars are soft in the sketching, and arts don't live up to the etching. On Hollywood Boulevard, we only sip the holy bowl of God. Control the bull, but stripped to the tiniest shard of this century's finest poetic revolution. Adventure, inventions free of no ethic solutions. I challenge any disputant. Hip-hop's a mutant, shot originally as consciously enlightening. It might be the moment's most simple components, slutties, pollutants. I see kids in the subway, substituting substance for abundance, prostituting the process of education from the spot, adjudication, a Jewish nation's foundation constantly corroding. Constables contest, the best of morals are eroding. My choral chant can't quite ignite all Western-dom, but at least to calm the beast and put the leash on the best of them. Haunted by a world controlled by dark forces. Undaunted, we stroll forth to mark our course. A few souls saunter, countering our remarks source. I threw down the gauntlet, you do what you want with it. Haunted by a world controlled by dark forces. Undaunted, we stroll forth to mark our course. A few souls saunter, countering our remarks source. I threw down the gauntlet, you do what you want with it. Click on the sick pick of the weak city slicker as 50 streets flicker in the rear view. I fear you might have lost your hindsight, blind to the plight of history's forgotten martyrs. Cause the killers have gotten smarter. They're dynamiting mighty dynasties with righteous smoke. The vital provoke, leave a whole earth smoking. Inside is a token, inside the broken trains of thought, restrained by the insane strain. A vain domain names bought, the claim realty, the virtual reality, or real TV. I feel needy, knee deep in CD CDs, and plead these stars leaving far past pleadies. I plead for cast, the no will last. The cast, the last crash, cash cow cast. The pit, when the ground split, the small Moses opposes, the man that opposes, follow the 10 commandments. Since the scandals of Bandman, man supine has been supplicant, the last inanimate objects, I object. Haunted by a world controlled by dark forces. Undaunted, we stroll forth power. Survival of the fittest. Be realistic, admit this. Our inability to kill and guilt not arrive the next hour. It was just muscles, we don't hustle to be Mussolini. Must be we only cuss all we sing, cause really we're fleeing its meaning. Meaning we're fiending to deny dependence. A reply, that's why we don't spy our intended transcendence. You try to truncate abundance, vacate the circumference of circumstance. Infer is just a circus of chance. Lie advance, it's an avalanche of surplus, sir. Plus I concur with its currently carried away. Married to the day, it's scary the way my philosophy fills past the brim. No one can put a stop on me properly. I'm just skimming the surface with into action. I usurp foes thus. What I propose in prose, I did in action.
Push the limits. Sound space exploration, the lighter side. More pull than gravity. Battery acid trip, wireless corrosion, explosion, big bang, theory versus practice. Push the limits. Sound space exploration, the lighter side. More pull than gravity. Battery acid trip, wireless corrosion, explosion, big bang, theory versus practice. Practice what I preach, teaching what I know. No strings attached, dichotomy hits. Talk the rudiments of a drum. Theory versus practice, the sentence syncopation. I was born on the first earth, so how is it we have third world nations? It's just history's hazards, think backwards. So is to practice my theory, that fate forks over whatever's on the menu. Build a regime in my mind on a utopic post-it. Pure and decent, brain melts into anarchy. One common goal, a whole global village. In theory, I'm practicing to become optimistic. Stand back, note the concept, size the structure, form and function. Crossroad meets junction. Some of its composite parts. Boogie down to our philosophy as we complement art.
Push the limits. Sound space exploration. The lighter side. More pull than gravity. Battery acid trip. Wireless corrosion. Explosion. Big bang. Theory versus practice. Push the limits. Sound space exploration. The lighter side. More pull than gravity. Battery acid trip. Wireless corrosion. Explosion. Big bang. Theory versus practice.
In theory,
they appear as the axis of evil.
In practice,
we actually just fear other people. In theory,
I think theoretically.
In practice,
I seem to doubt the concrete. In theory,
we create our superior democracy.
In practice,
it's a 4-year dictator bureaucracy. In theory,
all men are created equal.
In practice,
all people are manufactured by comparison. In theory,
vehicles kill with the carbon.
In practice,
Johnny needs to drive his car, son. In theory,
time and space is infinite.
In practice,
I'm at the space log for today. In theory,
every matter has a separate category.
In practice,
it's all just the same old story. In theory,
we practice rudiments, serious students.
In practice,
we reach out, Bengal, Seer, disappear. Push the limits.
Sound space exploration.
Light aside.
More pull than gravity.
Battery acid trip.
Wireless corrosion.
Explosion.
Big bang.
Theory versus practice.
Push the limits.
Sound space exploration.
The lighter side.
More pull than gravity.
Battery acid trip.
Wireless corrosion.
Explosion.
Big bang. Theory versus practice. Theory versus practice. Theory versus practice. Theory versus practice. Theory versus practice.
Prophetic poetic productions. Bangello on the beats. Freedomized Toronto. My city has the psyche of a sin-sick cynic. They mimic my stay on the mic like a stand-up clinic. Even our comedy is honestly an enmity with a remedy called virtue. Like it would hurt you to give living in darkness a curfew. We're few and far between who would wean the world from its mean fixation. Yet a kind of mindset could intervene and fix this nation. I pick my stations carefully, guard the last shard of clarity prayerfully. Where parity is a parody, only purity is a surety. Sure, I'm wordy, but would you rather have heard me absurdly glorify another murder scene? It occurred to me, fortify your thoughts for 40 nights as hordes of advertising demons vehemently fight. A verse rings out, Think about these things.
Whatever's true and noble, whatever is good and pure, it is lovely or admirable. It is excellent or praiseworthy. Think about these things. Think about these things.
I've been dedicated for several years, and whatever will come, the ill seer takes one step forward with two looks back and forthcoming. An evangelist backed by drumming. This music is my way to heal the planet, and of course I feel the panic, stricken by ridiculous sense of self-worth, fighting hell on earth, already knowing the outcome. I won't be outdone up in lawsuits or disputes, despite the ill-reputed, stupid, dusty industry. It must be my future family to feed that helps me keep my sanity in an unsanitary, if you will, world. How will the next generation react to a star track so far back to the basics? In case it's positive, I posit I got a lot to give.
Whatever's true and noble, whatever is good and pure, it is lovely or admirable. It is excellent or praiseworthy. Think about these things. Think about these things.
It's true, even the news can't disguise it with lies. And being noble is the hope for our local and global ties. Should you be good, it's good for you, and your goods too. What is pure will endure as a cure to all our maladies. The lovely are demure, yet valiantly paint murals validly. Admirable are the admirals who face the tainted without fainting. Excellent are they who lay worldly concerns to be burned waiting patiently. Praiseworthy is a saintly, ain't she? While so many sink into the red of bling bling, sometimes a man's gotta think about these things.
Whatever's true and noble, whatever is good and pure, it's lovely or admirable. It is excellent or praiseworthy. Think about these things. Think about these things. Whatever's true and noble, whatever is good and pure, it is lovely or admirable. It is excellent or praiseworthy. Think about these things. Think about.
Since I was a little chap, before I even heard a rap, a nerd who napped in class, dreaming of a last to share a lifetime. A wife I'm able to adore and care for, pour out my deepest secrets, weak without regret, keep it discreet yet communicated. I soon debated if I meet this girl before I read the whirlwind. Is keeping Cyril in a state of anxiety. A few dates even lied to me. I tried to be free from society, but the scheme wouldn't die on me. I'd even write it in my diary. And one day I was shook by the very chick that flickered through my barely legible dreams. It's incredible, I scream. Look, check out the book of my life like a library. And now I'm married and rarely want to be apart from her. My heart is sure, my eyes start to blur with tears of sheer ecstasy. I want a sexy figure next to me every night and morning. I'd like not to be corny, it's alright, just don't ignore me. It's my proposal to be at your disposal, never to oppose all your dreams and ambitions. It seems I am wishes you to be my missus. I suppose I'll be remissive. It's my proposal to be at your disposal, never to oppose all your dreams and ambitions. It seems I am wishes you to be my missus. I suppose I'd be remiss if I didn't make this explicit. Megan, I'd be a pagan vagrant if it wasn't for your blatant pageantry. No more savagery from your gentry. You gently put me in my place. In your heart, I face the century, venturing with the elegant element on my arm. I promise to guard you from harm, and it's not too hard. Harness your charm, fall in the fields of my being. I yield, but I'm not fleeing. I finally feel free, and I can't articulate how much you appeal to me. As such, your all percolates in my mind. I find your perky smirk binding. Let's work together in holy matrimony, harmony over acrimony. money or wholly prosperous. It'd be preposterous to try stopping us in our hospitable trust, and it cost us nothing but unswerving commitment to each other and our imminent father. It's unnerving that so many would rather not bother, but we know better, and so vows for good or bad weather. Should be sad, I'm glad to know it's together. It's my proposal, be at your disposal, never to oppose all your dreams and ambitions. Seems like Ann wishes you to be my missus. I suppose I'd be remiss if I didn't make this explicit. It's my proposal to be at your disposal, never to oppose all your dreams and ambitions. Seems like Ann wishes you to be my missus. I suppose I'd be remiss if I didn't make this explicit. Megan, will you marry me? Praise to the creator, raise hands to the mind inflator. Bind the haters with bands just for mentalization. Strum for mental realization of the infinite, cause I'm into it, but not every minute. When I forget to eat my spiritual spinach, I let you hear it all, and then I'm finished until I drop to my knees and start pleasing the easement of my flow from the rooftops till I'm eased to a trough. See the garbage, hardage by the hard age of info, and I'm a nympho neophyte. I fight with Neil for the right to be cleared, the true choleric prophet. Too scared and scarred to top it off like a Guinness. I'm in this to win this war against Satan, deflating the enemy's rubber duckies. I struck these robbers with dove and tucked these children into the wilderness where weirdness is bliss, cause we're in this together to gain feathers like 80s dudes. I play these rude duds out in a budding feud between two families of similes, one like anatomic anomalies, the other like catastrophic castrations. So I vent frustration with a bent and busted nation. Forget the calls to the divine, fall into the ravine of raving, behaving like a slave, salivating for a salary. Forgot to count the calories, got caught with amounts of attempts of valor that exempt me from the pallor of my diet. I try it, vying to get the die cast, but I die too fast for this roll call. Stall, control my gall by hurling it to the seas. The curdling screams of seagulls, see all, but I free fall into repetition like a petty ditty. Understand the wondrous plan, thunders amongst the thoughts of a man stranded on a planet of manics, only invoking the truth with a damn it. I'm provoking the youth to panic. I took a picnic in the closed closet, disposed my deposit, deposed a hobbling hobbit, wobbling in my hobby. I lobby the laboratories to give the gift of gab and stories. Its due place at the forefront of society, for they front on its propriety, and that's why we'd be unrecognized and wrecked with lies and agony. These mags on me miss the true details. I blew it at retail, but prevail and email. See Cyril rail, I pay a Gandalf and a standoff. Sometimes I still refrain from living godly. Still refrain from living godly. Each sentence is an entrance which reaches the ceiling. Kneeling, I'm feeling, to teach is appealing. Congealing with a concealing spirit. I revere it and clear the path. Math is super physical. We looped individuals, indivisible, but there's still residual traces of spaces between nuclear particles. Ill, you can't see the genuine article. I'll pop the bull in you, calling you out, mulling about in a trance state. I dance with fate, for chance is my mate, and I can't wait to plant my feet in a state replete with a rate of great acceleration. With cellular motivation, I call to life, to biology. Sit up, acknowledge me, quit that bit about entropy. My isotopes are sloping sloppily, dropping the intense, dense news found in each element of matter. My helmet of scattered truths produce useful fullness, and I pull this huge weight. I muse on fate, abuse it until the universe shouts that it hates me. I pout and curse till it berates me into submission, rubs my face in its mission. The pub's a place where I waste my vision. All blurry, a surly Cyril curls into his corner and yells, "Oh, poor her!" Nature, the fate you're assigning me is asinine. I flee, but to where she still stares me down. I kill care, but it frowns and reincarnates. Can I bar fate from its call? The marred earth will fall if I still stall. But I ball about bills, and I mill about malls. Oh, when will the walls fall like Jericho? I bust a rhyme about my scenario, and rarely flow to a trickle. Peak fate's fickle sickle demonstrate death. Each breath is a bait, tainted by selfishness, wealth, and stress. The harder you bother to enjoy it, the more in the core one, of course, destroys it. Dealt a hard hand by fate, she demands to pull my cards. Feeling stressed, I fall under pressure. Confess to my dealer, in irate state, I hate fate. Dealt a hard hand by fate, she demands to pull my cards. Feeling stressed, I fall under pressure. Confess to my dealer, in an irate state, I hate fate. In my wooden cabinet, thinking I shouldn't have read what's written. Smitten by the anxiety, cause there's no propriety or props when you're stalked maniacally. I've walked 100 miles, seen locked frowns and smiles, with a vile juvenile gargoyles spoil my toil. I recoil from these serpents. What's the purpose of time spent? Now I'm chased by disgraced agents and displaced from the latest taste in fashion. Crashing, but still lashing out like touted tires. Attired in a spiral of denial. Penile penmanship may end my ship's travels unless I unravel the secret to their discontentment. I regret the prevailing resentment. Can I prevent them from railing against the tenet of tenacious tendencies? I'm gracious for my mendicancy, but can we mend or can't we? You try to bring enlightenment, but so many things keep on fighting it. Dealt a hard hand by fate, she demands to pull my cards. Feeling stressed, I fall under pressure. Confess to my dealer, I'd appreciate a date with fate. Dealt a hard hand by fate, she demands to pull my cards. Feeling stressed, I fall under pressure. Confess to my dealer, yes, I wait on fate. I hurtle through 380-degree circles, a circus of purpose and promises that astonishes with honest-ish, honing honey homilies, sugary anomalies, lifting the feet off streets like ollies, strolling with freestyle trolleys through small lyrical malls and alleys, selecting perfecting tallies and tabulations of rhyme formulations without need for congratulations. Heed but reject emulation, cause I neglect this prefect of original salutations and greetings. For a fleeting moment, we're meeting in a cybersphere, and I'm a diver here, delving into these reveling shenanigans until I learn what it takes to be a man again. And I plan to stand amongst my seed with enough to supply the need, but reply that they indeed should chase their own dreams, in case what I've sown deems me incapacitated in a dilapidated status until I'm rehabilitated to what God would have us. Dealt a hard hand by fate, she demands to pull my cards. Feeling stressed, I scold under pressure. Debate with my dealer, fate, can't you relate? Dealt a hard hand by fate, she demands to pull my cards. Feeling stressed, I fold under pressure. Confess to my dealer and state I'm blessed by fate. I'm blessed by fate.
Hon, the phone's ringing. Would you get it for me, please? I'm trying to watch old Johnny. He just come on. Hello? Hello? Long distance. Yeah, this is me. Who's this? What? What do you mean, am I a Christian? Who's it calling? Did you say heaven? Hello, Lord, sir. I've been a Christian a long time. Yes, sir, I sure have. And after all, Lord, I tell you, it's just last night, the same time last night, I was planning on talking to you. Yeah, it sure was. I was laying there watching that there old television. Johnny Carson, you know, he's on the TV. And I said to my wife, I said, hon, you know, as soon as old Johnny gets off the television, we ought to get on our knees and talk with the Lord. That's what we said, and I wish to goodness we'd have gone ahead and done it, but we didn't. But I tell you, Lord, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start doing better. I sure am. Yes, sir, I go to church. Yes, sir, every Sunday I'm a faithful church member. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I went last Sunday, I sure did. I went for morning preaching, I sure, wonderful service. Yes, sir, I go to church. Yes, sir, every Sunday I'm a faithful church member. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I went last Sunday, I sure did. I went for morning preaching, I sure, wonderful service. Well, Lord, you know, you just kind of picked on a couple of bad ones here, you know, and you're asking about the wrong ones, but, you know, I worked so hard all the week, you know, and, well, yes, sir, Lord, I know about that, but I tell you right now, you just kind of called it a bad time, you know. You just, you picked a bad time. We were in a recession down here, and the things have turned into a depression for me, and I just can't give any more, Lord, than that right now. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir, I sure do. I'm so glad you asked that. I take an active part in everything. Everything that goes on in the church, Lord, I'm right in the middle of it. And, well, you know what? Every time somebody comes to here telling me that there's things going on in the church that shouldn't be, well, I'm the first one to jump. Yes, sir, I go to church. Yes, sir, every Sunday I'm a faithful church member. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I went last Sunday, I sure did. I went for morning preaching, I sure, wonderful service. Yes, sir, I go to church. Yes, sir, every Sunday, I'm a faithful church member. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I went last Sunday, I sure did. I went for morning preaching, I sure, wonderful service. Oh, you gotta go now? Well, now, Lord, I tell you, I appreciate you calling, but and since you reminded me and all, I'm gonna start doing better. I think I need to. I'm gonna rededicate my life right now, Lord. I sure am. I'm gonna quit talking about my old neighbors, Lord, even if they ain't no good. And I'm gonna start tithing my tithes, my 10%, and paying my debts, Lord. And yes, sir. And I'm gonna go to church on Sunday and Sunday morning worship, yeah, and morning preaching every time, Lord, that they have church, Lord. I'm gonna be there and take an active part. Yes, sir. The right kind, and I ain't taking nobody's word no more, Lord, for what's going on in the church that shouldn't be. I'm going to be there, Lord, and find out what's going on for myself. I thank you so much for calling. Here, goodbye now, sir. Goodbye now. Whew.
The aroma and ancient tomes of knowledge from the west to the orient. Found out my college. It sounds like foliage when I rustle through the leaves. It ends in grief. My friends were all thieves, stealing from a vast past of bastards, trying to be the masters of our trades, but invaded by the vapors, pulling verbal rape capers and shouting laters, inflators of fiction. We cross wires like electricians to elect politicians who are never truly friendly. Their duty is pretend bending and bending, fact into factions, satisfaction with no atonement. I alone went to the top of the tower to recite the truth I write with the power of moonlight. I'll soon fight with the weight of a million warriors, hardcore ignorers of the lie stores and the horrid offshore borers. I'll be sorrier tomorrow, but we'll courier the marrow for your transplant and subplant the eggplant with aubergines, which sober means look at truth with different eyes and you'll break down its disguise. Not really the tip I'm on. My lips should spawn something more wholesome with a whole holistic sum of upliftment. The couple my gift went around the cipher circle like a water bottle at a rave, while utter battle craving annex. When you panic, soothe my manic mandibles, stop stringing you like a mandolin. Shaolin sings of things incomprehensible. You're reprehensible with your ostensible attempts at defining my essence. I'm refining these lessons to stop the stressing of those messing with a new world order. Hors d'oeuvres are served and it's owed to you. Say a war to the reservoir, so you blew the code. My bones strove in light of heaven, revving for inevitable uprising. Surmising my timing's enviable. Inviolable Bibles, liable spark revival in dark and dingy dungeons. You run up to dry like a wrong number, sunk in a slumber. I begin to wonder, should I plug this language savagely or leave it ravaged by these average cadavers and their lavish adverts? Of the art's instigation, in the heart of the situation, duplication seems inevitable. It's incredible how pliable all my rivals, replying with unreliable edifices. The libels disgrace the places they're meant to intelligently represent. I don't demean, I diligently prevent, preventing apart air. I got caught with a stare at the stars. It's not fair that I'm not behind bars, but I have the spat lines on the bars anyways. And many play, I spray and only obeying the on beat. I spawn beat downs with my sweet nouns and bombastic, chiastic tactics that bounce slightly off kilter. Rap rounds might be felt despite the filter. I request stills will not blessed these high Atlantic kilts. Still, my hand is killed off press quality formats. The soft wannabe 4 tracks, they all be doormats. The poor cats can't ignore the fact that I return to file vinyl and burn a CD that turns consistently.
What a door.
Majestic testaments are antiseptic. I rep kid and freestyle. You're being D-now, flooding your penile gland, spouting about how your band stands, but you couldn't touch my marbles with a handspan. Dork, my man plans to make fatter beats each second. It don't matter, the old ones are so sweet, we already got 20 records. This
plenty of stubborn pornheads that got torn and stuck in the shed. Cause I bled for this movement, and when the groove went to jiggy, did you figure the alternative was to alter the native sounds or bend to get down? Cause I rock 60 rhymes per minute, I'm like a pixie eating spinach, Popeye powered, clogging a mean Greenwich. Which was shocked when I finished this incantation, cause my plan was to go back and attack the plantations of a time-traveling misfit, unraveling your disc quick. I flick it off like an annoying fly. Why this toy try and mess with the blessed rhyme sprayer? Time to say a prayer. God, don't let me be a player. Don't let me be a player.
Sometimes I feel like I'm someone, I'm somebody, somewhere, somehow. At times, to be truculent seems succulent. Sometimes, being voluble is valuable and moldable, totally extollable. Other times, it's scoldable. Sometimes, silence is compliance, alliance with cruel and vile violence. At others, is a science of mutual reliance. Sometimes, making this pellucid is elusive. Other times, to be lucid is obtrusive. Sometimes, to earn concern is discerning. Other times, it's certainly disconcerting. Sometimes, the naivety of the nativity affects me negatively. But despite the ridicule of putting the perfect pedagogue on his pedestal, this festival gives me the pedigree of a predestined pedestrian. Incredible.
Somebody said they were somebody, but nobody's nobody. And if you say anything, man, it hurts like anything. Somebody said they were somebody, but nobody's nobody. And if you say anything, man, it hurts like anything.
Sometimes, to be gallant comes across as wisely elegant. But guys and gals who gallivant are fairly unintelligent. The valiant are rarely valiant, but very often a necessary talent. Sometimes, to mollify serves to nullify the probability of problems. Other times, to placate is to vacate probity, and to pacify actually gratifies nobody. Sometimes, being intractable is attractive, but once in a while, to be irrefragable shows we're really fragile. Sometimes, being inexorable may be deplorable. On the other hand, the demand to always be vulnerable is also intolerable. Sometimes, to be a composer of words becomes imposing. Those who high post repost boast of toasting nerds. But while they coast on the surface, I observe hip-hop's purpose and proposed they're served.
Somebody said they were somebody, but nobody's a nobody. And if you say anything, man, it hurts like anything. Somebody said they were somebody, but nobody's a nobody. And if you say anything, man, it hurts like anything.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes it's this way and sometimes it's that way. Our universe is just all a connected web. Relations, and I'm not saying there's no right, I'm not saying there's no wrong, I'm just saying depends sometimes. Sometimes it's DJ moves, sometimes it's delegates of culture, sometimes it's both. Up all night Thursday, fight with my own brain in the worst way. Curse the day I took the academic vein, endemic flesh, pressed by wire mesh. 3 different essays, philosophic topics, defiant
to deliver them. A cold shiver when I return my latest best friend books. Let's end this relationship, though we're both visibly shook. Vacation ship sailing, let's hook up with prevailing crooks. Delegates and task force, last course, last lecture. As term tapers, past the texture of sandpaper. Rough capers, prove smooth, soothing soothsayers. Truth, the layers favor. Freestyle behavior, the fattest session I've ever blessed in. Messing with perception of my profession by the suggestion that spontaneity haunts the lady. Freestyles hit harder than any pre-written spitting. The garters of truth like a virgin garter belt. Sweltering welts when you felt the pelts we dealt. The fifth element well represented. Demented, never resented. Yeah, we meant it. True pioneers, careers only hinted at by the veneer of mass media recording. Resorting the blast past like meteors. Talk of future gatherings. Lathering the cleansing soap in my mind. Tensing at the condensing of such beauty to plastic. Still shoot me when I touch it, I don't say it's fantastic. Then I went and crashed, kid. Your narrative, be fair and give my comparative literature. It's too imperative, too bitter and impaired. I swear we wear the marks of the burdens we carry. Hurry and embark, if it's urgent, don't tarry. Don't worry if you're weary, but be wary. Escape the escapade. At capacity, parades cascade the landscape. Invade our unguarded gardens like mandrake. Your man shrank, drank the snake snacks. Dragged by the dragon out back to the false Eden. Got calls believing that a vulgar reading is indeed the full meaning. Meeting me halfway house, beating a great grateful dead gray horse. Think on the brink of extermination, part of the dawn of self-determination. Where with the differentiation, detours won't deter the sure firm unshaken. Think on the brink of extermination, part of the dawn of self-determination. Where with the differentiation, detours won't deter the sure firm unshaken. Detours won't deter the sure firm unshaken.
It's the summit, summer something. It's the plummet of the nations. It's the wonder ride, son of civilization's final statement. I'm spitting drum amongst the mumbling generation. Numb of one touch, one of culture, holding breath for dumb sensations. Take the number one temptation. Hunger rumble, stay patient. It's the lazy fumbling wasters to the break of concentration. Raise the tunnel vision, lame remote control, span of attention. Big consoles and droves, the trainer gaze and crave redemption. Feel the strength in my foundation, the sure firm unshaken. Undeterred by corners vacant, taking detours for lesson. It's the delegation, the slaves of cultures in collaboration. Escape the escapade of fate, stay unshaken.
Think on the brink of extermination, part of the dawn of self-determination. Where with the differentiation, detours won't deter the sure firm unshaken. Think on the brink of extermination, part of the dawn of self-determination. Where with the differentiation, detours won't deter the sure firm unshaken. Detours won't deter the sure firm unshaken.
Which hope we have as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast. Sure and steadfast.
And this one. And this one. And this one.
Think on the brink of extermination, part of the dawn of self-determination. We're with the differentiation, detours won't deter the sure firm unshaken. Think on the brink of extermination, part of the dawn of self-determination. We're with the differentiation, detours won't deter the sure firm unshaken. Detours won't deter the sure firm unshaken.
Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he spake, Come and let us go to the seer. For he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. So they went unto the city where the man of God was. And as they went up the hill to the city, they found young maidens going out to draw water, and said unto them, Is the seer here? And they answered them and said, He is. Behold, he is before you. Make haste now, for he came today to the city. For there is a sacrifice of the people today in the high place. As soon as ye be come into the city, ye shall straightway find him, before he go up to the high place to eat. For the people will not eat until he come, because he doth bless the sacrifice. And afterwards they eat that be bidden. Now therefore get you up, for about this time ye shall find him. Tell me, I pray thee, where the seer's house is. I am the seer. Go up before me unto the high place, for ye shall eat with me today. And tomorrow I will let thee go, and will tell thee all that is in thine heart. The seer went out to meet him, and said to King Jehoshaphat, Shouldest thou help the ungodly, and love them that hate the Lord? Therefore is wrath upon thee from before the Lord. O thou seer, go, flee thee away into the land of Judah, and there eat bread and prophesy there. But prophesy not again any more at Bethel, for it is the king's chapel, and it is the king's court. The seer came to Asa king of Judah, and said unto him, Because thou hast relied on the king of Syria, and not relied on the Lord thy God, therefore is the host of the king of Syria escaped out of thine hand. Then Asa was wroth with the seer, and put him in a prison house, for he was in a rage with him because of this thing. And Asa oppressed some of the people at the same time. And his prayer unto his God, and the words of the seers that spake to him in the name of the Lord God of Israel, Behold, behold, they are written among the sayings of the seers. Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come, forever and ever. But this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, See not, and to the prophets, Prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. Yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, Turn ye from your evil ways, and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets. Art not thou a seer?
I look to the sky in expectation to see the elect infect the nation. There'll be no more sorrow, no need to beg, steal or borrow. No bag feelings will feed the poor tomorrow. No get on your knees cause you need to score, bro. No diseases, no leases, no fees, just pieces. A dream it seems, a delinquent delusion we felt, linked to infrequent intrusions of hope that went out with illusions, an infallible pope. We're not malleable, nope, and now we stand here, the confusion of grandeur, and we're grandstanding, demanding the grand jury hurry and acquit us and our acquaintances. It's just quaint, ain't it? How we're certain it's not hurting anyone when we quit caring and sit staring at stars. I admit it's quite a daring stretch, darling. We might be rich, seeing how far wretch will reach to catch a farthing, leave them starving. I'll perceive a stalling wobbling, but a marvelous marble bridge, the estuary shoal waters, and a table of vegetables for our feeble daughters. It won't pay to raise my nose like I'm elegant. I'll ride with pride, a trunk of funk like an elephant, raised in the blaze by the last day's trumpets. To see the up, put the umph in triumphant. It won't pay to raise my nose like I'm elegant. I'll ride with pride, a trunk of funk like an elephant, raised in the blaze by the last day's trumpets. To see the up, put the umph in triumphant. We're not over the hump yet. I've seen my fair share of lumps and get stumped by these presumptuous punks who pump themselves full of junk and jump skunk. The chance to have their advanced adjunct faculty sunk in facile activities. We lay docile in our domicile facilities. I can't even smile at our simplicity, cause we're all implicitly a part of the illicit system of a Down syndrome. Drones sin in droves, it almost drove me to despair, but then I rose to repair the disparity of the power of the rose of sharing. We arose that we might share in the hour of Chardonnay. Pardon me, but may I pour you a glass of wine, refashioned from the fine shards of the cup of sorrow shattered, when all whining is scattered by the grapes of wrath. I'm battered and scrape along the path till all hate is past. These apes say I'm mad, say my mind state's a fad. You'll make me laugh last. Less next semester, you're sequestered and fester in the lake with the rest of these fake ingestors. Incestors, molesters, pesters, false confessors, greedy investors, embezzlers. It won't pay to raise my nose like I'm elegant. I'll ride with pride, a trunk of funk like an elephant, raised in the blaze by the last days. Trumpets, receive the up, put the up in triumphant. It won't pay to raise my nose like I'm elegant. I'll ride with pride, a trunk of funk like an elephant,